Well, welcome back to the 55. Haven't seen this in a little while. I got a feeling that since it's sitting here, this is what we're working on tonight. Not sure what subsystem or what we're doing specifically, but for those that haven't seen it in a little while, it's awful stinking shiny. Never my favorite part, all that shiny. But yeah, she's back over here. I have to ask and see how the Trans Am is doing. Motor's sitting there. Tranny's in the storage room back there. So look at that. Oh, time to give you guys an update. We've been digging, looking for fuel fittings and stuff. You can see we have quite the mess of them here because we're trying to figure out now where we're going to mount our fuel pressure regulator. And originally, you can see he's got this Y block that we were going to use, but honestly, we're not going to need it because our FPR has 3 outputs, so we'll just grab 2 of those. The problem we're running into is all this heater stuff. It's pretty tight against that pad, and with the painted firewall, you know, because we just always assumed this would all be fine. I'm trying to get it in this vicinity here, but that's the heater core's on the other side of that wall. So what we're trying to do, instead of mounting it vertically with a right angle on our 1/2-inch feed line, is go ahead and turn that down, use our 3/8 return, you know, our -6 return off of that, and then use this port and this port to feed the EFI, block that one off, you know, one to the front, one to the back. We're just trying to figure out how we want to make a plate to mount that. The little plate that comes with these is a joke, and I don't know that we would trust it. So we're just trying to work that out. I had to do a bit of digging, kind of pull everything out, but this is the generic idea for our fuel system because we are deadheading, and we're in that 750 range, so that's why we're running that 1/2-inch fuel line. And trying to remember, I think it's a GPA 6 for our pump. So, you know, that 750, 800 range is kind of it for our fuel system. So we've just been digging through all our fittings and trying to figure out how we want to actually mount this now. Because no matter what we do, we're going to have to make a plate. And I'd really like to have it tucked down low, remembering our valve covers are in here, superchargers right here. Don't want a whole bunch coming up. We'd like to keep as much of the shiny black as we can and not just cover everything in wires and cables and hoses and crap. So, you know, I want people to see the work that went into making this all clean and shiny. So that's what we're doing right now. It's one of those things where you just run stuff up and say, we'll deal with that, you know, when it's time. Well, it's time, so now we got to deal with it. Okay, I have been a bad guy. I have not been showing you what we're doing. So, knowing what we've got on the other side, we're going to try to reuse this stud and then a very shallow sheet metal screw. Remember, these are going to also want to keep it in place somewhere in this range. We know where we want that to sit. So now we're playing with our computer-aided design here, or cardboard-aided in our case, trying to figure out, this is what came with it, which isn't going to work for us in any way, but it does help us figure out where the holes got to line up. So we're just kind of mocking it out in an easy material before we go cutting it out of metal. Here is where we're at on our test bracket. You can see where that is relative. So this return is ever so slightly over, but I plan to have her right in here. So slowly working it out. I think we're on the right track here. Also gives us plenty of room to the back, and remember, it won't be quite that sharp in metal, but I think that's gonna work pretty nice for us. While Vanna White is holding this, now you can see what I'm thinking. So this is the actual fitting. This will kind of ride the body a little bit, come out and go into the fitting. This one will ride up, arc over and up into, and it actually has this style fitting, and then it's a a right angle. I'm just using that to show the distance. I don't have that on hand. And then we have access to the 4 screws to mount it. And then we're trying to decide where our other screw is. And as soon as I look inside and make sure there isn't going to be an issue, I think it's going to be right here. That should be more than enough, especially with the lines holding it as well, to keep this nice and secure. This also gets it away from the exhaust, gets it away from the valve covers. And then here's our 2 feed ports that'll go back and right up the supercharger as we've shown in the past. So I think this is a good looking bracket. And here is exactly why you never throw anything away until you have to. So, because we were looking up there and we wanted a spot up high. Oh, here, for this other screw. Well, no matter where this is relative, it still doesn't wind up into here. So no matter what we do, we don't wind up poking the heater core with a screw. So that was one of the things we definitely wanted to know. In there grinding, wanted to show how that came out. That looks really, really nice. And then having the little flapper on here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and we did wind up fixing the second hand on the clock. You see, she's just spinning away. So, all right, back to the 55. Right. So what's all this noise? I got a feeling he's in here cutting something out. You working on that plate? Yeah, see, he's already started his homework. Okay, and he's started mapping that out into metal. So just a nice rough go, and then he'll clean it up, he'll mark the holes, he'll put the lines in. He's talking about maybe adding another fold here to make it a little stronger. So yeah, this should come out pretty nice. Give us a place to mount that. I'll get that one fitting we need on order, and the tube covers that we want to put on. Keep heat away from the fuel at any time you get. So I think, even though it doesn't look like anything happened, there's a lot of scrounging and trying to think. Plus I forgot to kind of shoot some video for a little bit there. But yeah, the 55 is back in the big stall. It's time to get this thing going. All right, what do we say at the end?
ShopRec says.
Well, yeah, we do say that. ShopRec says, thanks for watching.